everybody, welcome to Movieverse. My name is Brian. Today, not only Jason, but also Greg. We have the Trinity, the trio here, and we're going to be talking about some Star Wars stuff. So we're not going to have a normal movie news episode since The Force Awakens comes out this week, and actually the world premiere is tomorrow night. We thought that we would give some just general discussion of the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, our thoughts on it, our memories, what we're looking forward to, that type of thing. So to get us started, we're going to go ahead and talk about our first experience or memory with Star Wars. So, Greg, why don't you start us off?
Sir, my first experience comes with parents having like the original like VHS trilogy set.
Yeah.
And as a kid, like when I would stay home from school sick, like I would just watch that like all day long, like just one right after the other. So, and then it kind of just became a habit. Like whenever I would miss school, you know, I would watch the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Then when they made like the special edition versions, they released those in theaters. Like saw all of those in theaters. Then got to a point like saw Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and then even went to the midnight showing of Episode 3, which was the first midnight showing I ever went to.
Yeah. Jason?
Same here. The VHS of the original trilogy, non-special editions, was my first watching. I watched them in order, 4, 5, and 6, and you know, I did that too. Whenever I would pretend to be sick and stay at home, I would watch Star Wars. But excuse me. And then the prequels came out. I haven't seen a Star Wars film in theaters yet. So Force Awakens was my first, actually in theaters.
Yeah, and I think my brother also had that trilogy combo pack of VHS of the originals. So I'd have to say, like, probably my first movie that I probably watched was Empire Strikes Back, because that was my brother's favorite. He would just watch that one over and over again. But as far as like the prequels, like you said, I don't think I've ever been to a Star Wars movie in the theater as well. When the Phantom Menace came out, I was 9 years old, and the only memory that I have from that really is I had a to-go cup or something that had like Anakin's pod racer on it with a straw that came through it. But my family wasn't really into going to the movies that much. So I don't think at that age, I don't think I went to see those movies. I started to see movies probably around 11 when the first Harry Potter movie came out, and I think that was the only movies that I would go see because I would go see them with my mom. But yeah, so I remember seeing what I don't remember like what actually like happens in the non-remastered editions. It's been so long since I've seen them, since I was a little kid. And I think I had the prequels on like normal DVD when I was younger, so I'd watch those. And then now I have the whole like 6-pack Blu-ray of them. So, yeah. So it's like, you know, me and you are going to see The Force Awakens on Thursday at 7:30. When are you going to see it?
I'm going Thursday at 7:30, but at a different theater.
At a different theater. Yeah, lame. No, but yeah. So it's
well, thanks
like,
for telling me you guys bought tickets. So
well,
hey, I almost missed out.
Yeah,
because
that was crazy. Like,
I refreshed the page and it was gone. It was crashed.
Yeah.
It was crashed.
So, you know, it's gonna be like our first experience seeing those like a Star Wars movie in theaters, and it's like I've talked to different people about it. How like this. Like, The Force Awakens will be my Star Wars movie. Like, you know, everybody talks about how, like, A New Hope, the original trilogy, is my Star Wars. Or there's, you know, some people who are saying, like, the prequels are, you know, my Star Wars. This is going to be my Star Wars because it's going to be the first one that I actually go to the theater to see.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I know I've talked to you about a ton about how excited I am. And, yeah, it's going to be a great time.
Because whereas me, my trilogy is really the special edition trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the first, like, in theaters, like, you know, that's, you know, also, I was at that right age where, like, I'm that target demographic for Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was, like, 10,
how old
10, 12.
Okay.
Like, I want to say, like, was, like, 95 or 97 when the special editions came out.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, like, I was 10, 12, some of that. So, it was, like, you know, that's where, like, Star Wars sunk its teeth into me. Like,
yeah. And for me, it's like I can't remember a lot from when I was, you know, under the age of 12 years old. Like I said, I started to go see movies when I was 10 or 11 because of the Harry Potter series. But even then, I don't remember going to see those movies. I remember going to like the midnight premieres of the books themselves. I remember going to that, but I don't actually remember going to the movies to see the actual like Harry Potter movies. So, and it's the same way. Like I don't think I've seen the prequels in theaters, or if I did, I don't remember them. So I just remember seeing them like at home. So having like a theater experience with it is going to be insane because of the special effects, because of like where technology has come, like how extraordinary the prequels were for their special effects. It's kind of like, okay, so you take that, you add, another what 15 years to that, and that's what we're going to be with The Force Awakens.
Plus also a director that understands like the
character development.
Well, not character, but also like the practicality of having practical sets. Like,
but The Force Awakens is still going to have a ton of CGI.
Yeah,
but I saw a picture of like all the like different like stormtrooper like uniforms and like this like locker room setting, and it's just like, man, like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So,
is there one are the clones in episode 2 and 3? Are they actually none of them know people?
No, none of them are actually there. All the clone troopers are all CGI.
Okay.
Yep.
Like there's actually nobody like the
There's
clone
nobody
troopers.
home.
There's a lot of like, I mean, there's R2D2 and C3PO, but a lot of the droids are all CGI. A lot of the creatures are CGI. Like that whole movie was just like,
yeah. If you ever see behind
it was
the
the
scenes,
show, his production company.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was.
Yeah, if you see the behind the scenes, like you have a few set pieces, so like they don't just walk into something that would be there.
Yeah.
But then it's just a sea of green behind them.
Yeah. All right, so since we're getting to talk about the prequels, let's go ahead and go into the prequels. What we liked about them, what we didn't like about them. Jason, you start us off on the prequels.
All right. Episode 1, except for the fight, which everybody talks about, and the Duel of the Fates, it needs to go. It needs to not be even part of the saga, but there are redeeming things in each movie.
Yeah.
Episode 1 has the fight.
The pod race is pretty fun too.
What?
The pod race is pretty fun too.
It was. Yeah.
But if you start Anakin as a teenager, then you don't have that.
It's not necessary, but like for what it is.
It was so long though.
Yeah.
It was. And I mean, he made it a game. Like it didn't even mean anything because
it was a cell video game.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
which
toys.
I played.
Which it did.
64.
It did.
Yeah.
Which I had a cup with pod racer on it, so it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand to do it had Anakin's freedom, but it didn't need to happen. There was no weight behind it.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything. And episode 2, they should have never had the whole love. They should have handled that better.
Yeah.
But because the split between where Anakin goes, Anakin and Obi-Wan should have been the two. I know they're Obi-Wan's featured a lot, but if you almost make Obi-Wan a mere character, just as he should be the lead.
Yeah.
In the prequels as well.
Yeah. Gray, what are your thoughts on the prequels?
Like I said, I think the climax episode 1 is like probably the best one, both like the lightsaber fight and the space battle as well.
Yeah.
So like that is really like that is to me like core Star Wars. Like,
yeah. Well, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my problem with the space battle was the whole thing that like Anakin was just like, "Oops, I just took down this Trade Federation like control ship." Like,
this is like the kind of the visuals of it, like the way it looks, and like
wasn't that also like the Gungan fight too?
Gungans needed to go.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like undermine your.
Well, okay, I agree with the Gungans. They did not serve any purpose.
Yeah,
and
and you have Jar Jar Binks fumbling around with the like shocking.
Well, he's
balls.
a Sith Lord. Everything mattered.
Yeah,
he was fumbling around.
He was technically
he was
able to do all of it.
A fumbling idiot.
But it's like episode 2 was like for me that's the worst one.
Yeah,
like because I cannot forgive that terrible love story.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, also, Anakin's supposed to be this tragic figure we're supposed to feel sorry for.
Yeah.
He just comes off as just a complete whiny prick.
Yeah.
Like, I do like Obi-Wan's, like, subplot where, he goes off to
Geonosia.
Well, Camino first.
Oh, yeah.
Geonosis, and that was interesting and fun, but then you had to sit through Anakin and Padme. It's like, oh
yeah, it was cringeworthy for sure. They made Anakin super creepy when he runs into her. He's just like, I've thought about you every day for my whole life since the last time. And it's just like, okay, dude, I'm gonna go over here now.
And it makes it weird that they showed him as a young kid.
I know, they showed the age difference. Yeah.
Oh, it was unreal.
Yes, and then but episode 3 is definitely the most complete of the prequel movies.
Yeah, there are redeeming qualities about the prequels. You have the sound design, you have the music by John Williams, you have the lightsaber battles, which the episode 1 is the best lightsaber battle that I've ever seen.
The Anakin Obi-Wan fight is amazing.
It is. It was drawn out as well, and then I didn't like how it ended with the whole I have the high ground now, and then he's like, I'm going to jump over you. You underestimate my power. And it's just it shouldn't have come down to that. You know what I mean?
Also, too, again, he's like your brother. You're just going to leave him on the side of a lava river.
Yeah, burning to death.
You're under no threat.
Yeah. Or at least put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
You don't just let him torture himself to death.
It would be all you really would have to do is just speed up when Palpatine shows up, which would force Obi-Wan to flee.
Yeah.
That would make so much more sense.
You are my brother, Anakin.
And the whole thing where he's and to me the Jedi are evil. I
actually liked that though.
But it's too quick. He does it too quick.
I agree. They, like you said, they should have gotten rid of episode 1 minus the lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
Found another way to put that into episode 2 where it's Anakin and
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul. I think that would have been awesome. I would have much rather saw that lightsaber battle than see Anakin and Obi-Wan fight Count Dooku.
Plus
Doo-doo.
Twice.
Yeah.
Plus, that would have given us a better understanding of how good Anakin and Obi-Wan were together, and then we could have been more invested in the split.
I think if obviously I understand why they wanted to show Qui-Gon Jinn dying, but I think it would have been better if how it was with the fight with Darth Maul in episode 1, where Obi-Wan got caught behind those doors or whatever, and then it was just one person fighting Darth Maul. If it was just Anakin fighting Darth Maul, and you showed how skilled he is, and then he gets knocked out or whatever, and then Obi-Wan has to save him, that would have worked, I think, a lot
or
better.
Vice versa.
Or Anakin touches the dark side and it kills him when he's not supposed to.
Yeah. So there was things that they could have done with.
There's also there's so many plot holes in episode 1. It's even if you think he is, even if you completely misread what balance the Force means, it doesn't mean 100% light and 0% dark. How do you misread that? But at the same time, it's why you I get he's older than most people, but you're going to put him off, you're going to let him be trained by a Jedi who, up until he killed Darth Maul, was an apprentice himself.
Yeah.
So he's never trained anybody, doesn't know how to train anybody.
These are very good points, Greg. In the working world, you can't take a trainee and have them train somebody else.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Well, it's again, you say, even if he will train him out of defiance, it's
well, also, as soon as
you could have given him to any other Jedi.
As soon as Anakin went through puberty, though, I think we can all agree that he was probably more powerful than Obi-Wan. At least that's the way that they made it seem in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
All right, so we can talk about the prequels all day, but let's go ahead and get into some of our thoughts on the originals. For me, my favorite is Empire Strikes Back. It has that great scene between Luke and Darth Vader where you come to the realization that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. And...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
The original spoiler.
Yeah. But it still holds up. Obviously, they've redone some of the special effects, but even in them remastering it, they're still limited in what they can do.
Plus, the remaster, the special edition one, Empire has the least stuff done to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they're basically they've enhanced the explosions and they made the walkers move more fluidly.
Yeah.
And there's an additional scene where Luke is with the ice the ice creature.
Yeah.
But that's really about it.
But yeah, so like, you know, they have done some updating to it a little bit for each one of them. But even without that, they still hold up because of the story and because of the actors and the performance that the actors have given. And one thing I wanted to mention, I didn't mention this when we were talking about the prequels, but George Lucas actually approached 3 directors to direct the prequels, and they all said no.
Yeah.
Like,
talk about that last week's movie news.
Yeah,
like,
Steven Spielberg was one of them, and he was just like, "No, George, you take care of it." I don't know. It might have been because they got put off by the whole like starting when Anakin was a boy thing. I don't know, because a lot of people,
Lucas told not to do that.
a lot of people told him do not start when he was a child. But anyway, so when we're talking about the originals, you know, you have Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, like Harrison. Okay, whenever I think about Harrison Ford, my quintessential Harrison Ford is Han Solo in A New Hope.
Before then, he was a carpenter.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about that. Like, a lot of people could think of him as Indiana Jones. Right?
Yeah, okay, yes. I get you then.
So,
or Jack Ryan.
Yeah, so like me, it's Han Solo, and just his mannerisms and the way that he speaks and everything. And that's actually one of the things I'm most excited to see about this new movie, is to see if Harrison Ford goes back into that character and like has the same like mannerisms and everything. Because after you revisit a character after that long, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would think it would have to be difficult to get back into, like, at least, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, where we meet him in episode 4, the Force, like, he doesn't understand at all. He doesn't believe the Force.
Yeah.
He literally just does the opening run for money.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care about these characters at all. And then to hear him in the trailer go, I mean, Daisy Ridley's like, is it all real? And it's like, yes, it's all real. It all happened.
Character development, which is, you know, when we talk about, like, the whole Han shot first thing, and people were kind of, you know, I don't have that big of an issue with it, but I do understand how some people will say it kind of takes away from his character development a bit, about how, you know, he goes from, like, this cold-hearted killer to, you know, caring about his friends and saving them at the end of A New Hope.
But at the same time, he wasn't a cold-hearted killer because his life was on the line.
Yeah, but still, like, that's like the reason why people say that, you know, that George said that he had Greedo shoot first, because he wanted to be more of a John Wayne type character. So I understand both sides, but I do appreciate, like, the whole Han shot first thing. And I was watching an interview with J.J. Abrams where somebody asked him, like, who shot first, and he's like, Han shot first. He's like, how can you even ask me that question? I'm insulted. Like, it's hilarious. But yeah, so I mean, the whole story with the originals for me was, I don't know, it holds up because of the story, not because of the special effects. Even though for that time the special effects were groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But that's not why it holds up. It holds up because of the story. Greg, what are your thoughts?
I mean, for me, the original, like, A New Hope is one that holds a special place in mind because that's the first one I saw.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's very much a self-contained movie. Like, you know, it's, and like also, like, just the whole, like, Death Star, you know, space battle. Like,
yeah,
you know, like, as a kid, like, it was just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like, for me, like, Empire, like, I didn't really like a lot of, like, the Yoda parts.
Yeah.
I agree, like, you know, that Hoth battle is probably one of the most epic things that have been done up to that point.
Yeah.
You know, and again, like, the lightsaber fight in Cloud City, like, you know, and then Return of the Jedi is, that's the weak link in the original movies.
Yeah.
Because it feels like two separate movies. Like, you have the first half where, you know, they're going after Han and dealing with Jabba.
Yeah.
And, like, that's real fun and real exciting, like, a real enjoy. And then it moves to this fight, like, oh, they built another Death Star in a third of the time it took them to build the first one.
Yeah.
As we learned because of the prequels.
Yeah.
But, and then so it's like, and then, like, the Ewoks, like, again, they're kind of like just like kid.
Yeah.
You know, kind of kid friendly, like, so it's just like, it felt so tonally different than the first half of the movie.
Yeah. Jason?
No, I mean, I agree with Return of the Jedi, but the lightsaber fight in front of the Emperor was just awesome. But seeing Luke as this kid who goes, he has no idea who he really is because he's getting lied to, and then he kind of flirts with the Force at first, and he doesn't really understand it. And actually, if you read some of the new canon books, in between episode 4 and 5, there's a great book where he's literally he doesn't understand the Force. He doesn't really know if he should embrace it or not, which is a really good book. But and then to see him become a hero, I mean, it was just what you said. It's because of the story, and George created a good story. No matter what he did with the prequels, he created a good story in episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and rank these all 6 movies. I feel like we're all going to be pretty close to what we think. For me, I want to say my number 1 is Empire Strikes Back. My second is Star Wars, New Hope. My third is Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And then it goes Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, and my least favorite is The Phantom Menace. And that hurts me because I do love that lightsaber battle with Darth Maul. But, I mean, as far as the movies for me, that's how it goes. Greg, what are your rankings?
For me, it's A New Hope, then Empire Strikes Back, then Episode 3.
Okay.
Then Return of the Jedi, Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones.
All right, so Attack of the Clones is your least favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it's Empire Strikes Back. New Hope is number 2. Then it's really close, but I'm going to put Return of the Jedi just ahead of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Then Attack of the Clones, then Phantom Menace.
All right, so me and you are on the same page with ours,
Yep.
and you're the odd man out. But I understand why you're saying that, because Revenge of the Sith was, I hadn't seen Revenge of the Sith in a really long time, and then I watched it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this isn't as bad.
It's kind of taken back by it.
Yeah,
like, wow.
I'm like, all right, good. This one's actually really good, but I think overall is tainted because of the overall perception of the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, and again, like it's like I feel like again, like I said just before, like Return of the Jedi to me was just it feels like it's two separate stories going on there. Like, I never really felt the connection between those two plot lines.
Yeah.
So again, that kind of falls apart there. Whereas Episode 3 still felt like one continuous story.
Yeah. Before we get into what we're looking forward to with The Force Awakens, do you think, because we never really see Darth Vader in his prime, you know what I mean? Like we see Anakin turning to Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith, but we don't ever see him do much, you know what I mean? I would love to see a movie maybe directly after Revenge of the Sith where it's just Darth Vader just wrecking shit.
Do you think he'll be in Rogue One?
I hope so. I hope that we'll see him in Rogue One, but I hope he's more of like a Winter Soldier, where he shows up in different scenes to mess stuff up for the main character. I want the story to focus on the main characters and not Darth Vader, but I do want to see Darth Vader come in and foil their plans,
kill people,
times. Yeah,
not just
pan away.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, do you think that we're going to see anything where a Star Wars story, like the anthology movie for Darth Vader? Do you think we're ever going to see that? Do you want to see that?
I don't know if I necessarily want that as one of the anthology movies.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in Star Wars Rebels, their show Vader wrecking stuff, and you had the Force Awakens video games, and that I feel like that's much better for the kind of other canon related things, either the TV shows or
I know they have a Darth Vader comic book, and I haven't read it yet. I want to. Hopefully, when I have the money, I will do that. But
again, I don't know if it's really because again, it gets to that kind of that point of there's no stakes for Vader. If it is a between the trilogies setting, we know Force Unleashed kind of talked about that, where kind of he's been rebuilt a couple times, but again, kind of I just feel if you shoehorn it in between that era, it feels like there's really no stakes for him.
And I understand where you're coming from. So really, I guess it depends on how they portray the character in.
It's basically kind of who is basically kind of who's the focal point of that movie.
Yeah.
Basically.
But I really want to see him do some stuff in Rogue One to mess with our main characters. Yeah. All right, so now let's talk about some what we're looking forward to with The Force Awakens. I mean, there's a lot of rumors. We'll not talk too much about the rumors. Greg here's been lucky enough to stay away from a lot of the rumors. I've seen a lot of the rumors. Jason's seen some of the rumors, so we're at different levels here. But so like, what are you hoping to see from The Force Awakens? Jason, we'll start with you.
A return to form for.
I was going to use that line.
For the the original characters too, to see where they go and how much of a toll it's taken on them.
Yeah.
We see. I mean, I really want to say some stuff, but I can't.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Han, I mean, if he dies or not, but Han and Chewie, to see, based on that second trailer that we got at Star Wars Celebration, it's like we're home, and to see these new characters too. I really want to see how we react to Finn and Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver.
Yeah.
I don't know why I use their real names, but I hope that we can get a return to form to the original trilogy where we get, up to date special effects, but with a better story.
Are you excited or happy to see them kind of, basically embrace diversity in this movie? Because that's always been kind of a, something that people have had a problem with especially the original trilogy, with like the lack of diversity.
Yeah.
Like the first person that we saw in that trailer was
Boyega.
Finn. Yeah. And so I mean, does that a big deal to you? I mean, do you see that as like being great that like the first person that you see on screen in the trailer is a black guy?
I want it more.
Yeah.
And I do not want him to be related to Mace Windu or
Lando.
Do not.
That'd be one way to ruin the whole idea of diversity.
That takes me out. You just literally take diversity and you just shove it away.
Yeah.
Do not make that happen.
Greg, what are you looking forward to with the new movie?
I mean, for me, like, I also like to see, like, can we see, like, the kind of the fanaticism of Kylo Ren in the trailers? Like, I would love to see, like, getting an understanding of the dark side.
Yeah.
Like, we've always seen the dark side from the Jedi's point of view.
Yeah.
But yet, none of the, like, Sith view themselves as evil.
Yeah.
So it's, like, kind of, like, understand, like, their motivations for doing this stuff.
Yeah. And Adam Driver said that in multiple interviews because he can't say anything about his character, so he talks about like motivations, and he's always talking about how when he was approaching the character, he never looked at it as like I'm pure evil. He looked at it as I believe that I am doing the right thing.
Yeah. And so like that's one thing. Like, also, like I would love to just see kind of like the grand spectacle, like you see like the shots like the X-wing skimming over the water,
which we've
like,
never seen an X-wing in atmosphere. Yeah. They had the what were they called in the the
speeders?
Speeders. That's what I was thinking. Gliders, but that's not true. Yeah. Like speeders, yeah. But we never saw like X-wings actually, and also we never saw TIE fighters in atmosphere.
Yeah. And so like that's like what I've always loved about Star Wars. Like is kind of like the scale of it. Like it encompasses that whole galaxy. Like, so it's kind of like. You get not just diversity in characters, but diversity in what's going on.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, you made a good point about the TIE fighters actually going over the lake and actually fighting in atmosphere. It's definitely is interesting because it always seems like in the original trilogy and in the prequels, they were always fighting. Like it was always like the good guys were always like had like speeders or whatever. And then everybody else was like on land. And then when we get to the Gungan fight, they're all on land, right? The Gungans and the droid army.
The only ships you saw in atmosphere were like the clone dropships.
Yeah. So for me, looking forward to this movie, I can't wait to hear John Williams' music. The music that they have playing in that trailer was amazing.
Like he's still on top of his game.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I want to see where they go with the special effects. I'm excited to see like the stormtroopers are all going to be like, well, mostly people. I mean, obviously, like in the distance, they might have some.
Hopefully, they shoot better.
Yes, I want them to actually have a good like aim.
Yep.
I want them to be well trained, and I think in one of the TV spots, it shows a stormtrooper fighting Finn at some point. So it
with
seems
like a flamethrower sword thing, or no?
It's like some type of like weapon to combat the lightsaber.
Yeah.
So they obviously have some type of training against Jedi or Force users. It seems like, so that's good to see. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the original cast. Where the hell is Luke? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's fine. I know what they're going for with Luke. Like they want to use him in Episode 8 most likely. So they're not.
They want him to be that mentor character.
They're not blowing their proverbial load on like
He's going to be the Yoda of the new.
And obviously JJ wants to keep some of the stuff that's happening in this movie a secret before the movie comes out, which is understandable. I'm so appreciative of that. Yeah. I haven't watched like I saw that one thing with Finn and the Stormtrooper, but I haven't watched any of the TV spots. The last trailer that I saw was the first international trailer. That's it. I've stayed away. I'm like, no. Because as much as I love Marvel, they show a lot of the movie. And then you had Batman v Superman with the capsulated, movie in the trailer, which is fine. I don't, I'm not against that. But, like, for this movie, I'm so excited to, like, actually go in and not know what the hell is going to happen. We saw in the poster what looks like a new Death Star, which I'm not that excited about.
Star Killer.
Yeah, I'm not that excited about that. I'm worried about, like, a third Death Star. Like, okay. I get it that we've had, 30 years since the last Death Star, in real time. But for me, it's just like, I want to see something else. But I understand why.
Well, I think they've always said it's like a Death Star. They're not actually...
Well, yeah, but I mean, it will blow up, I think it'll actually blow up a star instead of a planet. Therefore, when you blow up the star, it gets rid of the whole entire galaxy or whatever.
Yeah. But have some really cool sound effect when it fires.
Well, yeah, and some visual effects too. But man, I want to know if there's going to be any good characters that turn to the dark side. And in that trailer, you see Poe Dameron being I don't know if he's being tortured by Kylo Ren or what. But I'm just wondering, okay. I wonder if Poe Dameron is going to turn, because in interviews that I've heard with Oscar Isaac, he's talking about how invested Poe Dameron is in the Resistance. So I'm just like, what if you took that character who's so invested in the Resistance, and then you see a complete flip? That would show the power of the dark side of persuasion and turning people to the dark side, because. Obviously we saw Anakin turn to the dark side in the prequels, but then you saw in the original trilogy them try to turn Luke to the dark side, and it didn't work. So you know what I mean? So there's always that thing of turning somebody to the dark side, right?
And again, the whole thing about Count Dooku being a fallen Jedi, and
which I think his actual name is Darth Tyrannus, but they changed it to Dooku for whatever reason.
Well, Dooku was his Jedi name.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so there's I'm just. It's really hard to say. I hope it lives up to my expectations, but you hope that it does, right?
Yeah.
I think. And Adam Driver came out in an interview the other day and said that it's better than the prequels. And I'm like, well, I hope so.
That's kind of low bar.
Yeah. I'm like, I hope it is, Adam, because if it's not, that's a pretty, terrible. But yeah, Greg, did you already talk about your? What are you looking for?
Oh, and even looking past, sorry to cut you off, but even looking past, I'm excited to see 3 different directors for these movies.
Yeah. Which they did for the original trilogy. Right?
Well, yes, but...
Well, George Lucas took over the third one.
Oh,
that's kind of why it's two disjointed stories.
Sense. Yeah. Because that's when he started to go crazy.
Yeah, so he directed New Hope, then...
Oh, let's make this fun for kids.
Then they got the other guy for Empire, and then he took over halfway through Jedi.
So I think it's pretty fair to say that we're all pretty damn excited for this new movie. I think for me and Jason, it's going to be our first time seeing a Star Wars movie in theaters. I think that's going to be great. I mean, you're returning to the theaters after seeing Episode 3 and the special editions, right? But man, I don't know. What was your thought process going into the third movie after seeing the first two, the Episode 1 and Episode 2?
Episode 3,
we're just kind of man, I hope this one doesn't suck.
Well, Episode 3, it felt cause the trailer and that it felt like there was much more it honestly felt like this is the one.
Yeah,
Like,
that is going to be good.
yeah, like this is the one that's going to redeem Star Wars.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be the one that redeems Star Wars, but I think that's what everybody says. I think it's going to be one. I think we all hope it's great. I'm really excited to see what the new actors bring to the franchise. I think Oscar Isaac's a great actor. I like John Boyega's personality when I see him in interviews. Daisy Ridley, she's going to be America's sweetheart after this movie because she's just, I mean, you can tell like from her interviews and the way that she presents herself, she's
likable.
Yeah, she's very likable, and I can't wait for this movie. So guys, let me know what you guys think. What rank do you have for these Star Wars movies, 1 through 6? What 1 being the one that you like the most, and 6 being the one that you like the least. Let us know in the comment section what your rank is, and if you guys like Episode 1, more power to you. I'm glad that you did. I used to like Episode 1 when I was a kid. I just grew out of it. I think Jar Jar and poop jokes didn't satisfy me anymore.
Well, before we actually get out of here, you guys want to try and take a stab at box office prediction?
Oh shit, 250. 250 opening weekend.
Yeah, opening weekend. Yeah.
I'd get 230.
250, 230. What do you think?
I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go 201.
201. Hey, that's still pretty good though.
Yeah.
Like especially for December opening.
I think it's just going to creep right over 200.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So yeah, let us know what your ranking of the 6 Star Wars movies are. Also, let us know what your predictions for the box office opening weekend is as well. I can't wait to see this movie. I know you guys are excited too. Let us know when you're seeing the movie, because some people are going to see like the critic screenings. I'm seeing it Thursday at 7:30 p.m. It's the earliest that I can see it. Jason's seeing it with me. You're seeing it at the same time, different theater. Yeah. Guys, comment down below what you guys think about the rankings and box office predictions. Make sure you follow us on social media, facebook.com/MovieverseOnline. Our Instagram handle is MovieverseOnline, and our Twitter handle is Movieverse2. So you can follow us on all that stuff. You can bet your ass I'm probably going to post a picture of my face after the movie's over. I'll be tweeting about it. We'll probably do
a reaction video with just your face, like just stuck in a permanent smile.
Yeah, and then we'll do a movie review sometime next weekend. I can't promise that it's going to be Thursday night because I have to work at 8 a.m. on Friday. But sometime next weekend we will do a review of it, and then we'll do spoilers and all that stuff. So make sure you guys are following us on YouTube at Movieverse Online. Or no, actually, yeah, it is. YouTube.com/Movieverse Online is the URL for our YouTube channel. Or, just
where you're watching this right now.
Click subscribe on the video and subscribe to us, guys, and have a conversation with us. That's what it's all about, is having some fun conversation about movies. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed The Force Awakens. Hopefully we all will as well, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.